Good morning, and thank you for joining my YouCast. My name is Morgan Merrill, and today I am joined by my dear friend and Coolsculpting Specialist, Katie. What's your new last name, Katie?
Hi, I'm Katie Reed. As of like a week.
I was going to say Katie Plotz, and then I was like, wait, it's not a Plotz anymore. But I'm still going to call you Plotzy because that will always be your nickname. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm very excited to share with everyone today all about Coolsculpting and Cooltone, which I'm a huge fan of. And you guys will get to see that a little demonstration later. But today we're just going to talk about Coolsculpting, Cooltone.
I am the body contouring specialist at Roseville Dermatology. So I do both Cooltone and Coolsculpting. I'm also an esthetician. So sometimes I'll add in treatments for my patients while they're being treated. Roseville Dermatology is a dermatology office. We do full service skin care as well as cosmetic services. But I personally only do the body contouring there.
That is what we're going to talk about today, is the Coolsculpting and Cooltone.
So I started as going to esthetician school with Morgan as my teacher almost 12 years ago, I think. Yeah, 12 years ago. And then I moved to San Diego area and started working at a med spa. That's where I kind of became more interested in the medical side of the industry. Fast forward, I moved around a lot, and then I ended up going to medical assisting school back in Sacramento. And so that I could do more procedures, assist in more intense skincare procedures with doctors. And I started working at an office that offered Coolsculpting. And they needed someone to cover, so they trained me, and I ended up loving it. 3 years ago, I interviewed at Roseville Dermatology, and they had a machine, but they weren't using it. So in my interview, I convinced them to let me do Coolsculpting on my days off. And my first month was booked solid. And so they're like, oh, okay, maybe we can do this. And so now that's pretty much all I do. And then this year, they came out with something called Cooltone. So Coolsculpting is a non-invasive fat reduction procedure. I'll go more into detail with that later. And then this year they came out with Cooltone, which helps build, firm, and strengthen muscles. So I just added that onto one of my services. And I've been doing Coolsculpting for about 5 years, and obviously Cooltone for a year because it's only been out for about a year.
Coolsculpting, which, yeah, we said we talk about, is amazing. I've had it done a couple of times. I've been your model, which I love. Everyone's like, wow, you look so great. What are you doing? And I mean, obviously it does take more than just Coolsculpting. You can't go and get Coolsculpting and then eat a hamburger and pizza and live your life, but it definitely assists a lot. What intrigued you about Coolsculpting?
I think that I've never personally been a very big person, but I've always had a little bit that I couldn't get rid of. And so I started doing it, and then I fell in love with it when I did it myself, because there was always that little amount that I could not get rid of on my stomach and love handles. And I didn't drink alcohol. I didn't eat anything bad. I went to the gym sometimes twice a day, and it just was there. And so after I did Coolsculpting, it went away, and it was there has to be more than just me that has that problem where you just have that troubled area that doesn't go away, and it doesn't matter how strict you are. And let's be honest, we all need a glass of wine now and then and want to continue to be able to enjoy things. And I didn't want to live I can't eat anything, I can't do anything because I have to work out twice a day. Then you're not going to enjoy how you look. So I just like that it's not, it is a cosmetic procedure, but it's really helping people be able to feel more confident and be able to get rid of that extra part that no matter how hard they try, they can't get rid of.
Right. And it's not invasive, and there's no downtime, which I liked too, because I could go in, get it done, and then the next day, or even I think you said that day you can work out.
Yeah, I actually really recommend working out that day because helps get things moving. You'll be a little bit numb after and tender, so it helps get rid of the tenderness and numbness faster.
That's one of the things but other than that, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't, to me, it didn't cause any irritation or anything like that, but
I would say there's a massaging. So after I take the applicators off, I do a massage. I think that part is awful. Some people aren't bothered by it. Some people think it feels good. Some people think it tickles, but I think it's awful. So,
school us on cool sculpting and Cooltone.
yeah. So I can treat anywhere from the chin down. Aside from the calves, I have treated the calves, but it's a more dense type of fat, so it really doesn't work that well there. But otherwise, I can treat from the chin down, excluding the glutes. That again is a different type of fat. So Coolsculpting is a non-invasive fat reduction procedure. We're all born with a certain number of fat cells in certain areas. By the time we're 18, we stop getting more fat cells. We kind of have a set number in each area of our body. Some areas more than others, which is why we gain weight in other areas faster and lose it slower because there's more fat cells to hold the fat in those areas. So Coolsculpting uses cryolipolysis to permanently freeze and destroy some of the fat cells in the treated area. So those fat cells are never going to come back. Unfortunately, fat cells can get larger and smaller. So if you gain 20 pounds, you're going to notice it, yes. But if you're maintaining a weight, you should be able to have permanent results. Like I said before, we don't get more fat cells, but they do get bigger and smaller. That's why you're like, well, if I can't get more fat cells, how can I get fatter? Because our fat cells expand. And also as we get older, generally for most people, they've grown and shrunk and grown and shrunk. So they're a little bit stretched out. So it gets harder to lose weight as we get older. So what a procedure looks like is I apply a gel to your skin. It's going to protect your skin from the cold, still allowing the cold to penetrate the fat cells. And then I'll apply the applicator. All of the applicators except for one use suction to pull the fat tissue into the applicator. There's no needles or anything, so it's just literally like a pinch. It feels like you're pinching your fat. And then it starts to slowly get cold. And then there's a couple minutes where you're like, this is so cold, I can't take it. And then you go numb and you don't feel the rest of the treatment. The applicators stay on anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes, with the exception of the applicator that does not have suction, which is generally used for like outer thighs or flatter areas. That one takes an hour and 15 minutes. Once the applicator's been on for the correct amount of time, I take it off, and you're going to feel like a loss of suction, and then you're going to feel a little bit of a sting. I like to compare it to like a pool to a hot tub sensation, because you're going from negative 11 degrees Celsius to room temperature. So it's a little bit stingy, and then I do a massage. Like I said, some people think it feels fine. They don't notice it. They're like, I'm still numb. Some people think it feels good. Some people think it tickles. I think it feels awful, but it's 2 minutes. So anyone can get through it, and it's well worth it. And then after that, you're just a little bit pink in the area. There is a small chance of bruising, but it's more like a hickey because it's from the suction. So you don't really, it doesn't last a very long time. And it's not very common to bruise from it. And then you'll be tender, and the numbing sensation, which is like you're not all the way numb. It's more like when you leave the dentist and you go like this and it's like halfway numb. It's kind of more like that. That can last up to 8 weeks. Some people it's a day. Most people it's 2 or 3 weeks. And you kind of get used to it after a little bit while. It's nothing super uncomfortable.
I wouldn't say how fast. When do people start to notice results from the Coolsculpting?
So you can start to see results as soon as 3 weeks. It kind of depends. Everyone's body is obviously a little bit different on how soon they'll start to see results. And then also everyone's different on how much they notice it. Like when I get treated, I notice right like 3 weeks. I'm like, yep, I can tell already. But it's my job to tell. So it's easier for me to notice. Full results is 3 to 4 months. But you should start to see something before then.
And how is, because people were like, how do the fat cells get eliminated? Do they just shrink? How does that work? And how do they get eliminated?
So your body gets rid of them via urine and sweat. So it does go through your liver and kidney, but they have done tests both on liver and kidney enzymes, and there's been no medical concerns. It's your own fat, so it's nothing to worry about.
Oh, okay. And you can get it done in every area. How many treatments? I mean, I know every area is different in every person, but about how many treatments do people usually get?
Most everyone gets 2 treatments. Few people get 1. And then some people need 3. It just kind of depends on how much fat is there, what your expectation is, and then how your body also responds. Some people are like hyper responders, and their results are tenfold what we thought they were going to be. And some people get the 20%. Like, I can promise 20% reduction per treatment. Some people just get that 20%. Some people get like a 50% from one. So I always assume you're going to be a 20% responder.
And how is it best to, because again, you can't really go to, eating pizza and, drinking wine every night and not working out, because the fat cells will eventually expand, or whatever's left will expand. So what do you recommend post-treatment to keep your results the best?
So if you're maintaining weight in your current lifestyle, then I would say at least maintain your current lifestyle so you're not gaining weight. If you lose weight, are your results going to be better? Obviously, yes, because the remaining fat cells are also going to shrink. I like to do it usually if someone's on a weight loss journey. I like to do it right in the middle, because then usually a lot of people hit a plateau. A lot of people have lost a decent amount of weight. I know that they're in the lifestyle now. They're not like, oh, I've done Weight Watchers for a week, I've lost 8 pounds, and now I want to do this. Yeah, and then in a week you stop doing Weight Watchers and you're not going to be happy with the results because you gained those 8 pounds back. So I like to do it right in the middle of a weight loss journey, because a lot of times you hit a plateau, you've lost the weight, I know you're committed to the lifestyle journey, and then you're continuing to at least maintain your weight, if not lose more weight. It also is a bit of a boost. Like, okay, I spent this money on my body. Now I'm not going to go back to where I was, because otherwise it's a waste of money.
Right. The investment. Now so you have had it done and you had a little baby. So how does that work with pregnancy and childbirth?
You can definitely do it before you have kids. You cannot do it obviously while you're pregnant. I like for you to wait at least 6 months after having a baby. So I haven't done it again since having a baby. I'll probably wait till I'm done having kids. I kind of recommend that either you do it before you have kids, or if you're in the midst of having kids, wait till after to do it, because we don't know how our bodies respond. Hormones are kind of crazy. And I want your body to get back. Well, it's never going to go back to how it was before a baby. Get reset and not in a weird stage anymore. It takes our body time to recover from having a baby. So I like to wait at least 6 months, preferably 8 to 12 months after having a baby, because it just takes time for your body to get back to normal. But you can definitely treat before or after a baby. I would say I've been really blessed, and my body has kind of gotten back to where it was before having a baby pretty fast. I don't know if that's because I didn't have a lot of fat in my belly before, because I've done Coolsculpting, or if I'm just a lucky person. But I like to think it helped out, because there wasn't a lot of fat cells there to gain weight in that area.
Yeah. And you're, like you said, you're a fit person. You watch what you eat. Yeah. So I think that has a big part of it as well. And you weren't sitting on your couch eting bonbons the entire pregnancy. So
no.
I'm sure
I would like, no.
I would love to drink wine every day of my life, but I can't. Are there any other contraindications to getting Coolsculpting?
Yes. So one of them, if you have a hernia in the area, I can't do suction right over it, because I don't want to pull that hernia out, especially if it's already been repaired. And then there is something called diastasis, which is where the muscles in your abdomen separate. Usually happens after having a baby. However, Cooltone, which I'll talk about in a little while, can repair that. So we could do Cooltone repair and then do Coolsculpting to get rid of the fat. So it doesn't mean you're not a candidate. It just means we may have to do a few other things first.
Okay.
Other than that, no. I mean, I know that I don't ever discount someone as being a candidate until I've seen them. I know some offices won't allow patients to come in if they weigh a certain amount, because they don't think that they're a candidate, but everybody's body is so different. Some people are muscular, some people are big boned. I never want to judge a book by its cover. So let everybody come in no matter what their weight is. And example, I had a patient come in and she was probably about 350 pounds. And everyone's like, why are you doing a consult on her? She's obviously not a candidate, but you never know. And she happened to just have these 2 pockets on the side of her legs. So she had to buy 2 plane tickets. And she was like, if I can get rid of these pockets, I only have to buy 1. So I said, I can't promise how much a result you're going to get, because generally we like to treat people within 20 pounds of their ideal weight. And I treated her and she had great results, and now she only has to buy 1 plane ticket. So Yes.
That's awesome.
There, but
And then what about people that have had maybe a surgery with a lot of weight loss or not, well, yeah, a surgery and they have a lot of loose skin. Is Coolsculpting a good thing for them, or is Cooltone more the direction to go?
so Coolsculpting and Cooltone, neither of them are skin tightening procedures. That being said, a side effect of Coolsculpting is skin tightening. So it is FDA cleared for skin tightening. I can't do it to tighten skin, but if I remove fat with Coolsculpting, it will tighten the skin, if that makes sense. Now, if you already have some loose skin, are you going to have some after? Yes, but it should improve the skin. So if someone has no fat and just saggy skin, you need a tummy tuck, unfortunately. But if you have fat and some loose skin, it's definitely a good option for you, especially in the chin area. It definitely tightens up the jawline there, which is nice. And then I've had patients, I had one who was I think she was 75, and she had fat, but her main concern was skin. And I said, okay, well, by getting rid of the fat, we can tighten the skin a little bit, but I can't promise how tight it will be because I don't know how your body's going to respond. And she looks like she's probably 50 now. Her skin looks great. The other part of that is also you have to take care of yourself at home too. You can't just, as long with the eating well and exercising, applying moisturizer, massaging the area, taking care of your skin, not letting it dry out. Massage, and I'm a big fan of the fascia blaster. It helps with it doesn't get rid of cellulite, but it improves the appearance of cellulite and helps with skin texture. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's basically a bar with bracket, like
nodules. I don't know.
And you massage, and it helps break up the fascia. So I kind of recommend people do that after Coolsculpting because it's going to help with the skin texture. So I kind of give that to people as homework. There's other things you can do like body wraps or things like that to help. In all honesty, there are treatments out there for cellulite and skin tightening. I can't say there's one that is permanent aside from surgery. So that's why we don't do one in our office, because in 6 months you're going to come back and say, well, now I'm back to where I was. And that's because, yes, you stopped doing it, your skin's going to eventually go back. So I'd rather you spend $40 on a fascia blaster and invest more in this Coolsculpting or Cooltone so what's underneath looks better and you can take care of your skin at home.
How many treatments is like the max in an area? Is there such a thing?
No. I mean, I definitely have regular patients who are like, book 3 hours for me. I'll come in and we'll decide what we're going to do. And I'm like, okay. I know.
In my life, yeah.
Goals. But so there's not, but you also don't want to remove too much. And then although it does tighten the skin, if we keep doing it, you could eventually have a little extra skin there because there's literally nothing underneath. Or B, if you gain weight, you can gain it in other areas if you're only focusing on one area. And that's, again, it's going to be like a 20-pound weight gain for you to notice it, but you just want to be aware. So no, there's not a maximum, but I mean, I have told the patient, I'm not treating you anymore this year. You're kind of done. And then she did come back the next year and we treated her. But so there's not a maximum. It's just, I'm honest. I don't have a problem telling somebody no. So
yes, I know that about you, which is great. Because people ask because you've heard of surgeries that you get done and you remove that fat and then it'll end up somewhere else. Is that a side effect of Coolsculpting?
So I'll go over the whole idea for you. So basically, I used to work for a plastic surgeon, so I know a decent amount about liposuction. With liposuction, you really have to change your lifestyle. You can't just say, I don't like how I look, take the fat out, and I'm going to go eat pizza every day. You take 80% of the fat cells out in the treated area with liposuction. So there's not really a lot left there. So if you gain weight or go back to your old lifestyle, it has to go somewhere. You can't just, it doesn't just disappear. So that is why a lot of people say, oh, I got liposuction on my stomach. 10 years later, I have back boobs. Like, well, yeah, what did you expect to happen? You're eating pizza and hot dogs all day again. With Coolsculpting, I'm only removing 20% of your fat cells per treatment. So you still have fat cells in the treated area, just not as many. So if you gain a lot of weight, you're going to notice it everywhere. It's harder to gain it in the areas treated though, because there's less fat cells. So it's a more manageable way of treating, although some people come in and I'm like, I'm going to be honest, liposuction is a better option for you, but don't ever do any of the treatments unless you're going to be honest with yourself and take care of your body at home.
Yeah.
Other thing on the note of liposuction, which it's a great procedure for people who are candidates. There are some really amazing surgeons out there, but I will say, a lot of times some of the fat cells can be missed because they're going in by hand, like it's just by their eye of what they're removing. And so even one of our staff members actually had liposuction, like I think she said like 15 years ago, and she had little pockets of fat. It was just like a little pocket here, a little pocket there on her stomach, very noticeable. And so I was able to correct it because they were just little pockets, and I didn't do her whole stomach. I just treated like 3 little pockets on her, and now her stomach is even. That's one of my favorite things to do, is kind of get in there and correct.
Contour with Coolsculpting, or yeah. On that note, how much is Coolsculpting? Because I'm sure you get asked that a lot.
The biggest, most common asked question, and I don't really have an answer for you because everybody's body is different. So pricing is per cycle. Every time the applicator goes on your body, that's a cycle. There are 2 applicators that count as 2 cycles, but they're a lot bigger and you get more for your money with those. So cost starts at $7.50 a cycle, but the more cycles you do, the cheaper it gets per cycle. So there's really not an answer, because I have patients who are 1 cycle patient. I just had a patient who was a 20 cycle patient. And she wasn't like 300 pounds. She just wanted to do multiple areas, or she had a longer torso. Like things like that have a big influence on the cost, because the more the area is, bigger, wider, thicker, it's going to cost more money, unfortunately.
Got it. Okay.
So average, I would say, is probably around $2,500 to $4,500. It's unfortunately a really big range because everyone's so different.
Listen, I have a pain tolerance of about 0, and I'm a big wuss, and it doesn't hurt. The beginning is uncomfortable. It's not like, oh yeah, I can like sit here all day and do this. But once you get numb, like you said, you're kind of like, okay, I can sit here and do this all day. And Katie is extremely accommodating at Roseville Dermatology. They give you there the first time, and I got sushi while I was getting it done.
But I do have snacks and drinks in there. I can do an eye or lip treatment on you, a little bit differently than normal with COVID, but we can do a skin treatment, hand treatment. I have your personal air conditioner in there. I try and make you as comfortable as possible. There's an iPad so you can watch Netflix while you're being Coolsculpted.
Yeah, it is very, it's like a little VIP service, so I enjoy it. Why should someone come to you at Roseville Dermatology?
I would say because I do have a good amount of experience. I have done a lot of treatments on a lot of different bodies, and I'm not a cookie cutter treatment person. So if you call an office and they say, oh, how much is going to be for my stomach? Oh, it's going to be this much. Do not go there, because they don't know. Like, you could send them a picture. I've done some photo consults and I just don't like them, because I need to like pinch you and feel what the fat feels like to know for sure if you're a candidate how much it's going to be. Pictures can be very deceiving. So if someone says, oh, it's going to be this much for your stomach, come on in, don't go there, because that's not true. And there's also cookie cutter treatments like, oh, we always do a diamond on the stomach. There's offices that do a certain way they do it every time. It's the same. But your body is so different from everybody else's. There is no reason it should be exactly the same. So I customize for each person specifically. And I also know it is not a cheap procedure. Very aware of that. But it is well worth it. And I'm also going to be honest with you. If I think, you don't have enough fat, why are you doing this? Or you're probably a better candidate for liposuction, or let's start with one area and then move to the others. I'm going to be honest with you rather than say, okay, $10,000, let's get started. My goal is to make you happy, because if my patients aren't happy, that does nothing for me. I don't enjoy my job. For me, it's not about the money. It's about being able to make people happy every day. And then another thing I would like to say is that I get to work in a really awesome work environment. The doctor I work for, Dr. Ha, really cares about our staff, and I feel like it shows when we are with our patients. He cares that I'm successful. He cares that my patients are happy. If my patients are not happy, which isn't often, but if it happens, like, we do what we can to make them happy. So if a patient does not see at least 20% result per treatment, and they have not gained weight, and we both agree, like, this isn't the result that you should have had, I have refunded 2 patients with their money because I just didn't feel like they got the result they should. So I would say that we have honesty and integrity at our office is one of the biggest things that would set us apart. And just the staff that we have, all the people who work there have had the treatment. So they all believe in it, and they all try to refer me people because they're like, if I refer her people, maybe she'll treat me. It's really a treatment that the entire office believes in.
Here with Katie at Katie Reed at Roseville Dermatology, and she is going to be demonstrating Cooltone, which is different than Coolsculpting, which we talked about previously. So I will have Katie explain all about Cooltone and what we are going to do today. I'm feeling good because today I'm not working out just because of my schedule, and pretty much think I'm gonna have a little workout here, so I'm excited.
All right, so I'm gonna explain as we go, and once we start the treatment, I'll go over how it works, what to expect, all of that. So Cooltone is something that strengthens, tones, firms your muscles. So we're gonna treat Morgan's abdomen today. So I'm gonna have you go ahead and lay down for me.
And because it is COVID, we do have to wear these masks. So hopefully you guys can understand us and hear us.
So during the treatment, you can wear clothes. You just can't wear any metal. So I had to take her belly button ring off, and we can do it right over her clothes, or we can treat on her stomach directly. I'll just do it right over her clothes for the video. So this is the applicator. I'm gonna apply this to Morgan's abdomen. There are 2 applicators. So for men, I like to use 2 because it helps with the sides a little bit more. For women, we don't want to look like a box, so I don't like to use 2 on most women unless they're a little bit wider, because we like to have a little bit of shape to a woman rather than just a straight box like a male. Does it feel secure?
Yeah.
Okay. So with Cooltone, there is percentages of strength, and I have control over that. So I started Morgan at about 50%. It goes all the way up to 100%. So Cooltone uses magnets to tone the muscles. A lot of people say that it feels similar to like a muscle stim that you get at a chiropractor. Muscle stim uses nerves to contract the muscles. So you're not actually going to build muscle with that. It's going to help relax your muscles though. This uses magnets to directly stimulate the muscle, completely avoiding the nerve altogether. So it's actually strengthening, toning, and firming your muscles. The first 2 minutes is just tapping. The tapping is going to help release lactic acid as well as relax your muscles, so that when it contracts your muscles, it can actually do its job and you're not tensing up on your own. It goes through 3 different phases. One of them is strengthening, one is firming, one is toning. And she'll notice a little bit, the length of the contraction is going to be longer or shorter based on what it's doing. How's it feeling?
Good. It definitely feels like I'm contracting my muscles, but I don't need to. I'm trying to just relax, but yeah. How often can someone get this done, or should get it done to see results? Again, I know I'm different.
So everybody needs at least 6 treatments to see results. You can treat your abs, glutes, or your thighs. Working on other areas for you guys to be able to treat. But abdomen and glutes are a 30-minute treatment. You're going to do it at least twice a week for 3 weeks. We can do more, or to start, if you want more muscle definition, we can also do the 6, and then the next month do a few more. Now she's got the contraction, as you can see.
Oh my God. Woo!
Oh, hello.
So it is complete involuntary contracting of your entire core. So when we do the abdomen, it's not just like your lower ab or your upper ab, it's your whole core. So it helps with back problems, and it helps tone the whole area. The first thing you normally notice is that you sit up straighter. You'll notice it in your workouts, so she'll probably be able to do a little bit longer plank. She can do more crunches, that sort of thing.
How often do you have to, like, so 3 weeks and then what?
Then it's maintenance. So, and that kind of depends on how much you're maintaining on your own, how much of a result you expect. So, some patients come in once a month for a treatment. Some patients come in every, 3 months. It all depends on how much you're maintaining at home, how much you started with, and how much you expect. I had a patient who did her glutes before COVID. She's very happy with the result. Then I went on maternity leave, so she went 3 months with no treatment, and she still has the same result as before. So we're just now starting her maintenance. So right now, a package of 6 is half off, and it's $1,800. Maintenance is normally $400 a cycle, but right now it's $300 a cycle. Also, right now, until the special ends, if you buy a package of at least 6 Coolsculpting cycles, you get 2 free Cooltone cycles. So that way you can try it out and kind of see how you like it.
So, okay, you get it done, and then you come in for maintenance, and then it's just maintenance forever, how long you take to do it or afford it or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. Now, does this replace going to the gym?
No.
Oh, you're not.
You're going to want to still go to the gym with it to help maintain your results. Just like Coolsculpting wants to invest the money in it, you're going to want to keep up your results by working out at home.
And how does it work on the thighs?
So I put it on the top of your thighs right here, and it contracts the whole upper leg muscle basically. It's going to help lift and give you a little bit more fullness in your glutes. So a lot of people who are like, I do squats and squats and squats and I still have a flat booty, this is the treatment for you.
I don't need that because I have too much ass. With this, I'm digging. I'm digging, but I'm not digging at the moment. I will say this is more uncomfortable for me than Coolsculpting. That's just me.
I've had a few people say that. I personally disagree. I could do this all day. And Coolsculpting, I'm like, all right, gotta get ready for it. Contraindications, which are going to include metal implants in the body. I can't treat the abdomen if you have a copper IUD, but I can treat other areas. History of seizures, and obviously pregnancy. Females, I don't recommend treating while you're on your menstrual cycle. It can make your cramps a little bit more intense, but
maybe that's why my period's next week. So
yes.
And you're not working out. How would this help? Would this not? Is this kind of?
It's going to be a good kickstart, but it's not really worth it if you're not going to ever go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because unless you're going to come in once a week after your initial package to maintain it, you need to do something to maintain the muscle.
Right.
The muscle, doesn't just sit there and build itself.
Is there any downtime with this?
No.
Okay.
No downtime. As you can see, you can do it right over your clothes as long as there's no metal buttons or anything. So it's definitely like a lunch break treatment because it's only 30 minutes. There's no gel or cleanup or anything like Coolsculpting. You can work out the same day. There's no issues with that. Even if you're doing abs that day, you don't really need to do abs the same day you do this, or glutes, whichever area we're treating, but you can.
Could you treat more different areas at different times or
Yes.
same time?
Not at the same time, but at the same day, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a patient who does her abs, glutes, and thighs.
Cool. Okay.
And yes, goals. And I will say what she noticed the most about her thighs. A lot of people are like, well, why would I want bigger thighs? The point is not to get bigger thighs. It's that she does spin a lot, and she feels like she was at a plateau. She wasn't getting faster or stronger in her spin class. After 2 Cooltones, she moved up in her class to be number 2 on the board or something like that. So she's like, I could tell a difference in my workouts with my thighs. So it's changing the length of the contraction because it's going from, like I said, it does firming, toning, and strengthening. So it changes the length of the contraction based on what it's trying to do to the muscle.
Now, do you think, do people, so it improved her workout with abs? Is it like, because I actually do have, I work out my core a lot, but I have a weak core. Does it help, it will help strengthen?
It will help strengthen. You'll notice in your workouts for sure.
Okay.
Like I know for me, I just finished my series, and my planks are weight. I can do a full minute plank now, and I can do real push-ups. Not very many, but before Cooltone, I could only do like on your knees push-ups, and that's been for years. Like I just don't have a strong core, and with after Cooltone, and that's right after having a baby, I can do a few real push-ups. If you do not have a lot of fat over the muscle, you will definitely see more definition.
Like a six-pack. So we're nearing the end of the treatment, I think.
Yes.
Okay. And I've definitely gotten more used to it. She sneakily turned it up to 75%. So I'm at 75%, and if she is right, it does get a little bit more bearable.
Your muscles kind of start to like know what's going on. It's a lot of contraction that's involuntary, so understandably a little uncomfortable.
Yes. Now, if I think you answered this, but if I came in for cool sculpting in this area, could I do Cooltone the same day, or would I have to keep on?
You could, but if we're treating the same area, I would recommend waiting to get the full result, because the less fat that's between the muscle and the applicator, the better result you're going to get.
Okay.
The only reason I would ever reverse that is if you have diastasis, which is the separation of the muscles. Then we would want to correct that first and then do Cooltone. If you don't know what diastasis is, it's common after pregnancy, and you can check it yourself. You'll want to lay down, and then you're just going to press on that center line, and you can feel like a gap between the muscle. Some people, you can also see it if they have a lot of muscle, like their stomach kind of bulges out a little bit with muscle, because the muscles, instead of going like this, are like this, so they're kind of bulging out a little bit.
Will I see results after 1 year?
Visibly, no, but you will definitely feel them.
Visibly, about how long does it take?
4 weeks after your last treatment.
Yes, it does. It does.
Again, Katie, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing with us all about cool sculpting and Cooltone. I will say, as I mentioned, I have had this treatment done in my, which I also had a kind of a problem pooch area. I exercise, I eat healthy, I do drink, but it's not excessive. I'm not drinking every day. And the pooch just was not going away, and you treated it. And it did take multiple sessions to really get some good results, but I'm very happy with it. And I will say, even during COVID, I was working out still, but like a lot of people, maybe the alcohol consumption went up a little bit. The eating habits changed just because of stress or whatever. And I haven't seen like a huge, change in my body. So even if you do maybe get off the wagon a little bit, it's not, you're not going to just all of a sudden like balloon up. So that has been good. But I keep coaching myself that I need to get back in action. So, and it does not, like I said, it does not hurt. It wasn't painful. I was tender for probably about, I would say truthfully about a week. I was tender in the area, but still worked out, still did everything I, normally did. It didn't like stop my lifestyle or stop my life. Wearing pants like around cause I got it done in the stomach area. So it felt a little odd, but it was just, it's just kind of like a nut. You're numb, and the numbness for whatever reason lasts for about a week or so. But in terms of the actual procedure being painful or anything like that, for me, it wasn't. I know everyone's different, but it was just uncomfortable, but you make it very comfortable. So what is one beauty or health related product that you can't live without, that you were like, if I was on a deserted island, this is the one thing that I would need in my life?
So it kind of changes from time to time. Being in this industry, there are like a million products, and you're like, this month I'm into this product. But for the last last year, I've actually been really into this product, specifically with pregnancy. I was really worried about my skin texture on my stomach after having a baby, and stretch marks and that kind of thing. And being in this industry, let me tell you, I have tried all the things for skin texture, skin tightening on the body. There's a million body creams. Most of them have similar products. Revision has one called Body Firm, and I absolutely love it. It is good for, they also have one called Nectar Firm, which is just for like the neck area and décolleté. Body Firm is for the neck down. Don't apply it to your neck, so I guess like the chest down. You can do it on, if you have textury, crepey elbows, you can do it on your arms and legs. They say that it does help minimize the fat cells. That I can't say I'm sold on yet. They have clinical trials and all that, but I just had a baby, so I can't say if I've seen that or not. However, I have noticed a significant difference on my abdomen with using Body Firm. Before I got pregnant, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, I have one of those. I know a lot of people have them. It's like, it looks like a little M on the bottom of your abdomen, and it's basically where the fat pad ends. A lot of people don't know that, but your fat pad ends and the next one starts, and you just have a little gap there, which is why some people have that little unfortunate bubble there. Using Body Firm minimized that for me a lot, and that was a huge deal because in a swimsuit it's nearly impossible to hide unless you're wearing a one piece, and it minimized that a lot for me. So Body Firm is definitely that product for me. It is a little pricey, but a bottle of that, and I had this smaller bottle, lasted me 5 months, and that was using it once a day every day. They recommend twice a day, but I kind of I'm cheap, so I wanted to see if I could use it once a day, and I used it once a day and I saw a difference. So you can use it twice a day and you might see a little bit faster than I did, but I definitely saw a difference. Price wise, depends on the bottle size. I believe it's between like $150 to $250 depending on the bottle, so it is a pricier product, but the small bottle lasted me 5 months. So although Body Firm is a little bit expensive, I won't deny that it actually works. So it's worth the money.
So it helps with your texture, but does it also firm the skin or just more texture?
Texture, firming, and they say it can shrink fat cells. I don't know, but I saw a significant improvement in how my stomach looked with just using the Body Firm, and I hadn't done any Coolsculpting treatments on my stomach in months.
Okay.
Like actually probably a year at that point. So it was just the Body Firm I was using.
Awesome. So what is one thing that you do for you that's like your time?
Yeah. So it used to be bubble baths, but after baby, those days are long gone. So now, actually, not to put a plug in, but Cooltone has been like, it's 30 minutes of nobody's in the room. It's just me. I don't have to do anything, and it's working out for me. And I can see a difference. I can feel a difference. It helps me feel good about myself. And it's only 30 minutes twice a week. But let me tell you, when you're a new mom, 30 minutes twice a week is a very long time to be by yourself.
You're like, it's like hours. How long do the Coolsculpting treatments usually take?
It depends on how many cycles we're doing. So anywhere from, if you're a one cycle person, 35 minutes to, I've had a patient that was 4.5 hours. It just depends how many areas we're treating, how big the area is, what applicators I'm using. There's just a lot of things that go into that answer, unfortunately. But most people want to get it done in one day, and I do have 2 machines, so we can do 2 areas at a time. If we're just doing your stomach, unfortunately, I do not treat the stomach 2 applicators at a time. I know some people do, but they pull away from each other. So to me, I'd rather you be in my room longer and have the best result possible. So again, having 2 machines helps speed up the process, but anywhere from 35 minutes to 4 or 5 hours.
Tell everyone how they can contact you for more information about Coolsculpting and follow you. I love your Instagram. You have great memes that I love, and I always send you ones that I see and I think of you. But tell everyone how they can get a hold of you.
Okay, so on Instagram, my Instagram name is Coolsculpting Katie. I post before and afters, treatments. I do live treatments. This video will be on my Instagram. And then you can also contact the office. We have a Roseville Dermatology Instagram page. They also post lots of different things. And then you can call at 916-784-7546. I don't have my own extension because I'm never really at my desk, but you can schedule an appointment or they can forward a message to me. But I do always answer my DMs as fast as possible on Instagram. It's probably one of the fastest ways to get a hold of me. But consultations are always complimentary, and I don't pressure you into booking if it's not right for you. So you can come in for a free consultation, and you can actually try out Cooltone while you're in the office for free as well.
Thank you again for coming on. It was fun. And I have loved my results. I was a model for you for an open house, and a couple of people said, oh, I don't know, she's too skinny. And I was like, you're me? I've never been called skinny in my entire life. So I was like, okay. But well, thank you again. This was fun and I appreciate your time. And yes, everyone go check out Katie at Coolsculpting Katie on the IG and Roseville Dermatology and just find out more. Everyone, like she said, is different. So definitely go in for a consult and you will not be disappointed, I promise.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. All right.